So I was pretty fortunate when it came to like the community building abroad, because since my host family was really good friends with another one of the host families that was hosting another student on my cohort, and since like they were already friends, like our two families would often do things all together. So that kind of, I guess, gave me a chance to interact on a more deeper, like personal level with other people in my host country that I most likely otherwise wouldn't have had the opportunity to really form these connections with. So like one of our first nights, I remember like we all went over to the other host family's house and like ate dinner together and then like walked around their neighborhood and things like that. So just having kind of that built-in net by the community that my host family was part of and just integrating myself in there really allowed me to find like my people and people to connect with.
So just to piggyback off of that, the host family is definitely one of the most unique parts of the program, because I think NSLI does a really good job of picking host families who really want to introduce their own culture, their local lives, especially food, which is always a good part of the program. And definitely that is great. But I know specifically like for the first like week when you're just transitioning to a new place, the NSLI cohort of like other students from America also is a really great support group. For after a flight, we all get pretty close together. I feel like coming from America, going to like Asia or Eastern Europe, it's a long flight. So you get to know other people in your group, and then you have like that friend base. So that right when you're in your host location, that you have like people to talk about, and also like shared experiences of like, oh, I'm also an American coming from high school in a new country that I've never been to before. And I think that's a great resource that a lot of students can have in addition to that host family aspect, where they can get this like introduction to local culture and language.
Well, at least for me, I found that I couldn't blend in at all in the community in Morocco, because obviously I don't look Moroccan or Arab at all. And so what I found to be useful was to sort of embrace that and not try to hide, but really take control of who I am. And that's not to say you should go running through the streets saying, oh, look at me, I'm different, but really just get a feel of who you are and don't be afraid to share things that are unique about you. I found that when I was walking on the streets through the markets of the Medina, which is the marketplace, a lot of people were staring at me, or some people would be curious and ask questions. My first instinct was to run away all the time because they're strangers. But I found that when I stood around, just took those couple minutes to stand and talk to them and tell them that I'm American, there are more than just white people in America. We have people of all backgrounds, all races, all ethnicities, and they were so shocked, they were amazed, and they couldn't believe it. And in turn, they also shared some of their stories too. And I learned about the Sahrawis in Morocco, which are the people who come from the Sahara region of Morocco. And I learned about their experiences in being sort of minorities in Morocco. And it was really cool because we could relate on that level. So I'd say that in building a community, it's really essential to have that sense of your own identity and not be afraid to share it with others.
I think for me, I experienced this on the academic year program very differently from the summer program, because we didn't have as much time in the summer program. So I used to spend most of my time with my host family and my cohort, both of whom I got very close to. But on the academic year program, I think that students have more of a responsibility or a need to build a community outside of just, the structures given to you, such as your NSLI cohort and your host family. And so I think a few months into the program, I'm still trying to build members in a different way. So for example, I started teaching Hindi lessons at the American Language Center, which is something that I never expected to do, but it let me connect with my native language in a way that I wouldn't be able to do otherwise, and meet a lot of Moroccans who are interested in Indian culture and the Hindi language and the Urdu language. So that's been really exciting. And then I also just started doing some things for fun, like taking dance lessons at the Palestinian embassy, because it was something that I was interested in ever since I studied abroad in Jordan, and I wanted to continue doing that here in Morocco. So I think that finding extracurricular activities has been a great way for me to build a community while studying abroad, and I'm still working on it, but it's been nice to have that opportunity to connect with other Moroccans and Moroccans with similar interests with whom I can share my culture and also learn from them and really build my language skills throughout the process.